Hello. Now, there's a few shockers in today's video. The first one is I find myself siding with Angela Rayner and Diane Abbott. Never thought that was going to happen. You'll see why in a second. Second one is if anybody else, if you or I had behaved in the way that Keir Starmer did yesterday in an employment environment, I would be expecting to be having a very robust conversation around a table with a member of HR about my conduct. I would imagine HR would probably impose some kind of sanction, at the very least demand a formal letter of apology, and perhaps at the very worst have some kind of formal warning on said employer. I hope that Keir Starmer does make a formal apology to Liz Saville Roberts and all of those in Parliament, particularly the MP sitting next to her. I don't know what his name is, somebody can tell me, but he too also needs to make an apology because this is unacceptable. And it's on the backdrop of, in January 2023, Keir Starmer said, "I'm very concerned that all our discussions in the Labour Party and in politics are discussions that we have with respect and tolerance. We must have respect and tolerance in all of our debates." So that's Keir Starmer, January 2023. This is what happens when he's Prime Minister and playing the big I am. And it is revolting.
Taking back control. Somebody here has to call this out, Mr. Speaker. It seems the only principle he consistently defends is whichever he last heard in a focus group. So I ask him, is there any belief he holds which survives a week in Downing Street?
Fair comment.
Yes, the belief that she talks rubbish. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to lead a country.
Look at Angela Rayner.
We pull together.
Stony
and
face.
Walk into the future as neighbours and as communities, not as strangers.
So the rest is just Keir Starmer responding to the question. But Angela Rayner, stony-faced. Rachel Reeves laughs like a schoolgirl. So Rachel Reeves absolutely falls on the floor when he says, and I'll play you the clip again.
Yes, the belief that she talks rubbish.
Look at Rachel Reeves. And even if you look further down, have a look at Diane Abbott.
Mr. Speaker.
There. So Diane Abbott is
Mr.
appalled.
Speaker, I want to lead
I am appalled. Yes, that she talks total rubbish. Now, I am not, as we know, a supporter of Angela Rayner. She does make me laugh. I do think some of what she comes out with is quite funny. But she clearly, in this instance, has morals and integrity. That look to me says, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. I am done. I can't believe you've just done that. As does Diane Abbott. Rachel Reeves shows herself up for the shallow individual she is and laughs like a schoolgirl who's in love with the prefect. Rachel Reeves is as appalling as Keir Starmer. And I don't know the name of the Conservative MP that is sitting next to Liz Saville Roberts, but whoever that is, they also need to make an apology. It's just not okay. How can we respect you? How can we listen to anything you've got to say when this is how you conduct yourself? And as I've said, in any other environment, that wouldn't be allowed. And I always bring it back to family. You know, if my kids were that disrespectful, that's not just banter. That's just rude. And if that happened at the dinner table, I would send them away from the dinner table until they could come and apologise and not behave like that. That's not me being the fun police. That's not just getting on a high horse because it's Keir Starmer. That's basic behaviour. And we are at the highest level here. We are elected MPs, politicians, and the Prime Minister. I think it's disgusting. And I applaud Angela Rayner and Diane Abbott for their stony faces yesterday. It was exactly the right response. You don't just laugh at the bully because he's making the jokes. He's not funny. That wasn't funny. That was overstepping the mark, and he needs to apologise. He won't, because he doesn't know how to apologise. He won't have been able to read the room, and he hasn't got it in him to just come down off his high horse and go, do you know what? I got that wrong. I'm sorry. He is incapable. But I think that is disgusting. And it wouldn't matter who'd done it. It could have been any MP. It's not how we behave. You cannot have a moral high horse on any other subject if you're going to behave like that on the day job. And if he thinks that's going to curry favour and get the laughs and so therefore get the votes, he's mistaken beyond belief. He needs to have a long, hard look at himself and remind himself of his very own words. We must have respect and tolerance in all our debates. Well, where was your respect to Liz Saville Roberts? And if I was her, I would be demanding a very public apology.